Hi guys, Jamie Humphries here for Six String Alliance, and today we are taking a look at the brand new WAMPLER Pantheon Deluxe Dual Overdrive pedal. So today we're taking a look at the brand new Pantheon Deluxe pedal from WAMPLER. Now, I am a big fan of WAMPLER pedals. I think the content of my channel speaks volumes, and I actually did a demo of the original Pantheon and absolutely love it. So I was very excited to see how different the deluxe version of the Pantheon would be. Now, for those of you familiar with WAMPLER pedals, you've probably seen this dual overdrive or dual pedal design before. We have the Paisley drive, which is a favorite of mine. I own a Paisley drive. Also the Andy Wood gearbox. I own one of those as well, which is also a dual pedal, and the Tom Quayle dual fusion pedal, which I unfortunately don't own one of those. But all of those pedals are similar in design. So, it's quite a familiar layout. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the Pantheon's quite a classic sounding overdrive. It's based on the Blues Breaker circuit, but it also has a slightly more modern boutique feel and sound about it. The Pantheon also features switchable voicing and different switchable degrees of gain. So what we have here is a dual stackable overdrive pedal, meaning we can stack either side, either channel of the pedal in different orders. Channel 1 is based on a Blues Breaker style circuit. It's a little bit more classic sounding, so you can still achieve higher gain with it, but it has a little bit more of a vintagey sort of quality, I guess, to it. On this side, we have the classic Pantheon pedal, which is a slightly more boutiquey version of this side. Here we have a switch. I'm quite happy to see this switch on the pedal, which decides which order the pedal stacks, so either channel 1 to channel 2 or channel 2 stacking into channel 1. Beforehand, with other dual pedals, this was done with a series of different inputs and outputs, which I must confess, I always found that a little bit frustrating. So it's really nice to see this additional switch. On the side of the pedal, we have some additional switches. We have a gain switch, a 3-position gain switch. We have that on either side. So you have low, medium, and high gain. And on each side, we have a 3-position voice switch. Now, what that does is that determines the clipping. In the bottom position, we have soft clipping. So it's actually a little bit louder. It's a little bit more open sounding, a little bit more vintage sounding to my ears anyway. In the middle, we have a combination of soft and hard clipping. And in the up position, we have hard clipping. So there's a little bit more compression. The sound, the level drops ever so slightly, but also you get a little bit more of an aggressive overdrive. I personally like running channel 2 with the hard clipping engaged, so the voice switch up, and then on this side when I'm using the slightly more sort of classic bluesy sounds, I tend to have the soft clipping engaged. Now on the top here you have an input and an output for each channel. Now at the moment I'm running in this side and coming out this side. That's the kind of standard connection, if you like. And then I'm determining which pedal is pushing, or which pedal is stacked, or which channel, should I say, is stacked with this switch. Now, the reason why you've got 2 inputs and 2 outputs is because if you have like a one of these gig rigs or Boss style switchers, loop switchers, you can actually have this rigged up to 2 separate loops, so it's almost 2 pedals in one. Now, I personally run a Voodoo Lab GCX system, which is a rack-based system. I've had that system for years, since I was doing the old Australian Pink Floyd show tours, so I could actually have this pedal in there running to 2 separate loops. So you're basically getting 2 overdrives in one. But the other thing that makes this pedal incredibly versatile is the fact that it is MIDI switchable. We have a little mini jack on one side, which you have to get one of these mini jack to MIDI converters, but it's fully MIDI operational. So if you do have one of these kind of pedal-based loop switching systems and you run out of loops, don't worry, you can just connect the pedal normally and then have it attached via MIDI and do all your switching via MIDI. Also, if you have, say, something like a Helix or one of those kind of all-in-one pedal units, or multi-effects units, sorry, and you want to run your pedal in conjunction with that, maybe in one of the loops, then instead of doing lots of tap dancing, you can actually set it so that when you're switching to different presets, you can be switching on either channel or combinations of the channels as well. So these routing and stacking and switching options make the Pantheon Deluxe one of, if not the most versatile overdrive pedal I have ever seen. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the layout of the pedal. Obviously on the front here, we have the 2 controls for manually engaging either pedal. Like I said, at the top here, we have this little switch that decides which direction you're stacking, whether you're stacking channel 1 into channel 2 or channel 2 into channel 1. The layout, the controls are identical on each side. We have a level control, we have a gain control, and we have a bass and treble control. Now, we also have this global presence control as well. Now, Brian Wampler himself advises that when you start off with the pedal, you have this control turned off and you dial it into taste depending on the guitar and amp combination that you are using. Now, for the gear that I'm using today, it just sounded better when I had the presence control dialed off. I didn't need to add any more of that kind of top end sheen to my sound. Now, just going back to the point about MIDI, we will talk about that a little bit more later on. I have got a little MIDI board with me and was able to easily connect this and have it switching. Let's just talk about the gear that I'm using today. I'm using my 1998 Ernie Ball Music Man Axis Sport. This is made of swamp ash. The beauty of having a large guitar collection is every so often you go, oh, I haven't not played that guitar in a while. So, yeah, I put a fresh set of strings on this and fancied using this. I've had this guitar since I first signed my contract with Music Man nearly 24 years ago now. So this was the first guitar that I got, and it's an absolutely fantastic sounding guitar. I'm running into my Mesa Mini Rec, which is my kind of go-to amp in the studio, and I'm using Cab Clone IR Plus. That's the Mesa Cab Clone IR Plus. So let's kick off by having a listen to my core tone. This is the bridge humbucker clean channel of the Mini Rec. Okay, so let's set everything in the middle. I'm going to kick things off with channel 1. So we've got the gain in the middle, the bass and treble pretty much in the middle there. And I've got the gain level slider on low, and I've got the voice setting, the voice switch down. So I'm using soft clipping. Let's engage the pedal. This is channel 1. Let's drop the gain down a little bit. Okay, let's push the gain up. Push the gain up a bit further. Okay, let's now push the gain all the way up. I'm going to drop the gain back down halfway. Let's just have a listen to the EQ control. So I'm just going to drop the treble control. Now you've got a pretty broad scope of control there with the top end and now with the low end. Again, the EQ does a lot, so you can really dial in and tailor your tone. I've got it set just sort of off halfway, probably about 10 o'clock. I found that was just a nice setting for how I have my amp set up. So now let's push the little gain slider at the side. Hopefully I can find this. I'm now in the medium gain. So if I push that gain control off now, you hear from the gain, from low gain to medium gain. And then let's go to the highest gain setting. Let's engage the we're on the soft clipping setting. I can't find the switch on the side. Let's go to hard and soft. This is with the switch in the middle. Okay, and now let's go to the hard clipping. So this is going to give you a little bit more compression. I think it's got a little bit more of a spongier sort of feel to it when you're playing. Let's go back onto the middle setting with the gain slider. You can see that the level has dropped. Everything's getting a little bit more squashed, but to me it feels a little bit more responsive. But I guess it's just because I'm used to high gain amps and high gain pedals. Let's just put the engage the soft clipping again. They give you some of those really nice sort of classic bluesy tones. Let's put it on the middle gain. I'm trying to find the switch. It is, I should point out that the switches are really easy. It's just the combination of the fact that I'm clumsy and blind and the switches are over on this other side and I'm too embarrassed to wear my really bad looking glasses on video. Push the gain up a little bit. Bridge. And you can get a lot of gain out of that channel. So I'm going to go on the hard clipping. I've pushed the gain slider all the way up to the maximum, and let's just crank the gain up. sounds fantastic. I always love the sound of Brian's pedals. I just think they're such musical pedals to play with. So, yeah, that's channel 1. So, that's, like I said, there's plenty of gain there for you, but also I tended to use that side a little bit more subtly. Let's have a listen to one of the single coil. There was actually a section, it was 2 sections during the intro demo track. There was like a little kind of clean, little kind of twangy, clean chord thing where I just went for a slightly clipped, broken up sound using the single, one of the single coil settings. So I think that's got a really nice, got a nice glassy sound to it. It sounds lovely. Hang on a second. Make sure I'm not knocking controls that I shouldn't be. That's a beautiful sound. I like that. That's a really lovely sound. I think that I'd have that side kind of set like that, so it's a little bit more vintage sounding. So now let's engage channel 2. This is the original Pantheon. So it's a similar circuit to the Blues Breaker, but as I said, it has a bit more of a modern boutique sound to it. I have the clipping switch and the gain switch down. Where do we have the gain control? In the middle. Same, like I said, same EQ. Let's just set those two sides up pretty much the same. I think they look kind of the same, don't they? Let's have a listen to, you have to remember that. Let's have a listen to channel 1. And then let's have a listen to channel 2. Well, you can hear a difference there between, I probably haven't got the EQ set exactly the same, but that definitely has a slightly, to my ears, a little bit more of a glassy tone to it, a little bit more vintagey. So, yeah, the same control layout. Like I said, let's push the top end up. And now let's adjust the bass control. That's really nice. Let's push the gain up a bit. I'm going to pull the bottom end off just a little bit. I just know how this amp reacts. It's got quite a lot of low end. Push the gain up further. It's a very organic sounding overdrive, especially when you consider the fact that I am just using the clean channel. So let's go back to the middle setting, and now let's experiment with the gain level slider. So that's on the lower gain. Let's now go medium. Did I do? Yeah, I have to check I did that right. This is medium. And then let's go to the high gain slider setting. You can hear some low end starting to come in a little bit there. It's let's push the level of the gain. Okay, and now for me, I prefer when I engage the soft clipping. I think it sounds, as I said, a little bit more compressed. Let's have a listen to it with the switch in the middle. So this is the hard and soft clipping. You can really hear the sound of the pedal changing as I'm adjusting that control. And also, like I said, it just feels, to me, it just feels spongier. I don't know whether that's going to be the right term, but it just, yeah, I prefer it when the clipping is hard. Have a listen to the middle gain setting. Like I said, there is so much gain you can get out of this. This is in the middle setting. If I can find the middle setting, there we go. More of a single coil sound. Okay, let's increase the gain a little bit. Let's push the clipping on the soft clipping. Yeah, for me, I think I like that second channel, either with the sort of the combination of the soft and hard clipping or the hard clip. Okay, so now let's have a look at where the fun really begins. Let's set up, say, a slightly mild overdrive sound. So I've got this set on the middle setting for the gain slider. Let's put my gain control about halfway. So I've got a nice kind of crunchy rhythm. And then I want to boost that slightly, so we can now engage the second channel, and that will push into channel number 2. Okay, turn it off. Experiment a little bit with the clipping controls. Obviously, the more you start to push the gain, the more hiss you're going to get. We can push up the amount of gain as well on the gain slider. Wow, there's a lot of gain there now. Wow. There's a lot of gain. Yeah, you have to turn that off. You have to be a little bit careful with the amount of gain that you can dial in. There is a truckload of gain. Let's set this now to the higher gain setting. That's nice, like that. Where have I got that set? So that's with the clipping set with the voice switch in the middle on that side with the gain low and dropping down the level the gain, but then pushing with the level control. So you're sort of boosting into using almost like a boost into channel 2. Wow. Yeah, that's really nice. Let's try it the other way around. So let's push into channel 2. We're pushing it into channel 1, sorry. So we have channel 2. Let's get a sound set up on channel 1. Sorry, I'm losing my mind a little bit. So So I've got that nice kind of open sort of vintagey tone going on with the pedal now. Let's just pull back some of the bass. And then let's set the gain lower on this side, the gain switch. I like that. And the thing is, if I do now change the order, it does sound different depending which way you are stacking. Now, there are a lot of tonal capabilities for different degrees of drive, anything from classic old school blues breaker style drive all the way up to modern boutique high gain. And obviously you can go beyond that depending on how you stack each channel. So just one last thing I wanted to show you. I've got my air step here. I'll just put that there so we can hopefully see that on camera. My little air step board. There it is. And I'm coming from one of the MIDI outs on this. I've got a MIDI to mini jack converter. I haven't really spent a lot of time doing this. I haven't set up the switches correctly, but I just wanted to see if it worked. You know, imagine that this was some kind of switcher or an effects unit. And yeah, there you go. So I can remotely turn on and off my channels on the pedal, and you can set it up to engage and disengage different combinations of them. It's like I said, I haven't really got this set up particularly well at the moment, but it was pretty straightforward for me to do. So you know, you can, like I said, if you've got one of these gig rig style things and you haven't got enough loops on it, it doesn't matter. You can just connect the pedal in this standard 2 cable fashion, if you like, in and then out, and then use MIDI to engage either side of the pedal. So you haven't got to do a lot of stomping. You can just have that and, you know, the pedal set up, have the MIDI connected to your board and still use your switcher. So this really is an incredibly versatile pedal. So hopefully this demo is giving you a bit of an idea of what this wonderful pedal is capable of. Probably the song at the front end of the video is a little bit of a better indication. I always prefer to hear pedal demos in a musical context. I'm never really that much at ease just sort of twiddling the controls, but this is a very versatile pedal. It's two channels. So we've got 2 different independent channels, which you can either switch on the pedal or you can switch via MIDI. We've got dual inputs and dual outputs. So if you use some kind of switcher, then you can treat it as 2 independent overdrive pedals. As I said before, it's fully stackable. You can either push channel 1 into channel 2 or channel 2 into channel 1. You've got switchable, 3-position switchable voicing, and you've got 3-position switchable gain on each channel, plus a global presence control. There you have it. That is a pretty versatile pedal. Click the link in the description below for more information. And if you don't already, please subscribe to the channel. That's it from me. I'll look forward to seeing you very soon here for more videos. Bye for now.